during a live-fire exercise. This man used the Chef God system to cook a spicy braised chicken dish, hoping to boost the soldiers' morale with the meal. Unexpectedly, he sent the entire squad running to the bathroom. Long lines formed outside the restrooms, and the sound of flatulence echoed one after another. The exercise had barely begun, and half the squad was already out of commission. The problem wasn't a system glitch, but that dilapidated food truck. The smell of food mixed with gasoline, and the stove took an absurdly long time to heat up. Actually, the system had warned Jack while he was cooking, but at the time, he had no other choice but to grit his teeth and push through. Afterward, Jack and Dong Xian were punished by the squad leader. Jack felt bitter inside. It was clearly a problem with the cooking equipment, yet the unit refused to replace it. Just as the two were complaining, a death alert suddenly sounded in the distance. Enemy forces launched an artillery barrage, killing half the soldiers in an instant. The platoon leader immediately decided to lead the unit to a safer location. The group marched deep into the terrain. Upon hearing the news, the battalion commander, who had just been praising the team's performance, suddenly felt excruciating pain in his stomach. He hurried to a secluded spot and crouched down. When gunfire suddenly rang out, before he could take cover, he was shot dead on the spot by the enemy. With the battalion commander killed in the exercise, command was swiftly transferred to another officer. But worse was yet to come. The supply convoy in the rear was ambushed by enemy forces, causing a disruption in the food supply. The soldiers could only barely stave off hunger with hardtack. If no new food arrived, they wouldn't even have to wait for the enemy to attack. They'd collapse from starvation first. Just as everyone was at a loss, the system suddenly popped up with an emergency mission, ordering Jack to head to the captured supply truck, reclaim the remaining food, and prepare a meal. Jack immediately proposed his plan. The director pondered for a moment, then, for the sake of the soldiers, finally agreed to the plan. But 3 people clearly weren't enough, so the director brought Park Sang-sher into the operation. That night, the 4 of them put on simple disguises and set out. There weren't many enemy soldiers guarding the supply truck, so Park Sang-sher decided that he and Dong Hyun would be responsible for drawing the enemy's attention, while Sun Jae and the director would take the opportunity to eliminate them. No sooner had he finished speaking than Park Sang-il sprang into action, but the way they drew attention left the Viper squad completely dumbfounded.